Hey, what's up, guys? Matt Osborne here. I know I promised y'all a video yesterday, but I've had a little trouble figuring out how to hook all this up to get the best video and sound. I still haven't gotten my Helix hooked up to the laptop with the mic separately and all that stuff. So right now, I'm just playing it through the PA, but I think it comes through pretty good. All right, so this is the Helix Stadium. Um, I showed you guys. I'm sure everyone has seen a picture of it. What I'm gonna do? Thought I had one already half set up, but I guess I didn't save it. So we're gonna start a preset from scratch here, and I guess before we do anything, I will throw an amp in here and show you guys. So here we got the new amps. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them, but a a big difference that I noticed in them, um, other than they eliminated the high end nastiness, and I spent hours and hours and hours on my floor trying to get that out of it. I play a lot of clean, um, a lot of funky wah wah stuff that's real clean, and when you get that harsh high end, I mean it's just nasty. So they've added this height button down here, which is basically when you're hearing a recording, um, a finished CD of a band, you're not really hearing what's coming out of the amp. You're hearing what they've done to make that sound better. So as far as I know, the hype is supposed to be um, just that, adding that finished touches to it. And, instead of making it an on off, they've actually let you fade it, which is, usually to me, I like it somewhere around between 2.5 and 5. And it's really great. I don't know that you'll be able to hear a lot of difference here. I'm going to switch to a different cab here. One thing that they changed, there's no more amp and cab together. It is two separate blocks now, but they do put a cab with it. As soon as you click on an amp, there's automatically a cab block made, which is great because I'm sure you guys did as well as me. When you put an amp block in there, if you don't have a cab block, it is nasty. But anyway, they have a speaker and a preset for that. Um, and if you want to add another cab, you just come right here to a second cab and choose whatever. Um, Before I show you the height button, I'm going to show you this button, and I can't remember what it's called, but right here, you hit that, and it's going to bring up whatever effect, amp, speaker, whatever you have there, and you can click on these and drag your mic in and out, left and right, angle it or not angle it. It's that's a pretty cool feature there. Um, let's go back here. Mostly I use this on the stadium itself because on the edit app they don't have it um, finished. I'll show you that. Well, let's go back to the height button. Let's see. I like to let's just put a little compressor in here and play a little bit of it. And I'm not sure you're gonna hear it because I'm playing through this mic, but I may try to turn it up a little bit for y'all. All right, I'm just going to go with the basic settings there. Let's turn it up just a fuzz here. So this is just dry, no reverb. As far as the bass and the treble, we're pretty close to where So, come down here to the height button, and let's go all the way to 10. So there's got to be some compression in there because you do get a little more volume, maybe some EQing, but I don't know what it does, but I love it. It made all the difference in the world. I don't really like it on 10. So let's go back to 0. I mean, that's, a little more thin. The volume difference is hard to tell, or hard to tell the difference in them with the volume difference. I like to give it, 2.5, 4. But it made all the difference in the world. One thing that I noticed a lot, I'm very tone picky, and on the old floor there was really only about 3 or 4 amps that I could even stand, and then within those 3 or 4 amps there was probably only 1 or 2 mics with each amp that I could stand, really, that I didn't almost absolutely hate. And with these new Agora amps, every mic sounds good. Almost every speaker sounds good. Some of them are a little thin and whatnot, but they all sound more like what you would imagine they would be. Like, if you go from a high quality speaker to a high quality speaker, you're not going to have one being a piece of crap and one being great. So I'll switch through some of these. The Princess is a little bassy. That's that little small tweed. They all sound okay. I could live with any of those, with a little bit of tweaking, but that one's a little thin. But so let's go back to what I had here, and I'll go through the mics for y'all. More subtle differences, and a lot closer to what they're like in real life. So you go to your ribbons there. Now we're back to the condenser. All right. I love playing with it. I could play with this thing all day and try to get different tones and things, but I'm gonna go on so I can. I don't want y'all to have to go through a 30-minute video here, and I'll make some more videos and get better. I know I'm gonna be fumbling all over my words and everything. I probably should have made a list of what I wanted to talk about, but if anybody has anything they want me to go over or talk further about, just throw a comment in there, and I'll try to start doing a little more deep diving into each thing here and there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and save this. There is a save button right on, so you can save as right on the Helix itself. I'm just going to type some letters there. So you don't have to hit the, I can't remember how it was done last time, but the save and the enter or whatever it was. This one, you just basically hit the button. There's actually a foot switch, which, I mean, that's just more stuff. This thing does everything. Every time I mess with it, I find, well, crap, here we go. I find something new that I love. Save it as. All right, sorry, I've not even done this yet. Okay. And just rename it. A lot of things you can just double click on. So I will show you. I'm not going to be able to actually show you what this does, but I will give you an idea. Let's go down here to some distortion. Just go, I don't know. We'll just hit that one. So if you go up here to this button again, on the Helix itself, in each corner there will be a label, and in the middle there's a label. And they've got those preset. You can drag your finger. I'm sure they're going to update this on the edit program, but you just drag your finger across the touchscreen to each corner, and it will give you an idea of, instead of tweaking each knob to get what you want, now you can just drag your finger around and it changes every parameter. And on something like the distortion, where there's no octaves or pitch shifting, it's endless, because every time you move, it changes different parameters, and it's pretty neat. It'll have a boost up in the corner, and then lead in this corner, and a warmth, in the top. And the closer you get to each one of those, it'll blend the two or blend all four in the middle. It's really cool. I've used that a lot, because like I said, I play with this stuff, tones and different, all the time. That's just one of my hobbies, is just to come down here and mess with the tones and different effects and things. So here's something that I had a big problem with. You have your command center here, which has your stomp boxes, and the old floor had a list of, you come down here and hit your edit button, and it had a whole list of where everything was at and all that. Well, I didn't read any directions or anything, so I was wondering where that was, and it's not on here. You have to go to this command center. It's actually a lot easier on the Helix itself. You just go to the command center, tap on whatever. Well, actually, I take that back. You go to whatever effect you're wanting, double click it, and it brings up, the add a switch. There's several different options. And then you just tap on whatever switch you want it to go to. If you want it to be an expression pedal, you just move the expression pedal. But that'll be in a deep dive thing. But yeah, there is no assign button down here anymore. You can right click and assign to a switch here. You choose between stomp A, stomp B, and your expression pedals, and then your control port. All I'm using those for, I have 2 external expression pedals, which before I only had 1. There's another difference. You can put 2 or more, it says A, B on them. I've not really gotten into that yet, but I've got 1 plugged into A, B, and 1 plugged into C, D, and it doesn't affect your hardwired expression pedals at all. The old one, you could use 1, but then if you plugged in 1 more, you basically eliminated one of your hardware ones. So I only used 1, but I always had an extra one. That's a whole other story. But so you come here, and there's your switches. Stomp A1, 2, 3. So we're going to put this one in A1. And you come back up here to your command center, and there it is. to rename that on the edit. Oh, don't tell me I've forgotten how to do it. I've been doing it on the. I mean, really, this new stadium is made to not have to use your computer anymore. The only reason I do is because I'm kind of fat and lazy and old and don't want to bend over all the time. And, I could easily put it up on something level, but I like to use the laptop and have the Helix down on the floor so I can test things that I'm doing. But there is a way to do it right here, and I cannot figure it out. So right here's a quick save, quick save button. I think you have to go over here. Here we go. Right click, label. Yeah, so you go, let's go back. Up here to your command center. These take all 5 of these take you to different places. Right now we're just going to focus on the command center. So here are all your stomp buttons. I'm sure if you're watching this, you know this already, but if not, this is the number one reason why I bought the stadium. You have 10 more foot switches, and we play a lot of jam music, and we're in a 3-piece, so I use a ton of effects because we have to make a lot more noise than most bands that have 4 or 5 people. But so I've filled this thing up. I love it. I have 4 different growlers on my main preset with different. You don't have to use snapshots anymore, which on the floor I did, but I use a whammy, so that pretty much takes up all your snapshots, unless you want to have 8 or 10 different whammies on your stomp box. But so yeah, so it's to change your scribbles. You right click on that switch, and you can choose your color. I always leave it on auto, but you can label that distortion. And then here's all of your. I'll have to look into that on how to split those expression pedals up. The way it's done is, I think you can turn one expression pedal into 2, but it uses a TRS cable, and you can choose, tip to be A and ring to be B. I haven't gotten into that yet. That's I'm pretty simple on these things, so there is a lot that it'll do that I'm just will probably never use, but I love learning about it. So if anybody wants to point me in a direction of something they want to learn, I'll be happy to. Let's throw. I'm going to show you guys this too. Something I always use is a wah. And they've moved some of the synth auto wahs into here. So if you start looking for your Tron up or whatever, that's going to be under the wah. That's now called wah filter. So while I'm in here, I will show you this too. On all of your effects, amps, everything, this single circle is your mono. The 2 of them is stereo, and that little Washington Monument or Lincoln Memorial looking building is your legacy. So here's all your legacy. They didn't take. I think they changed a few of them, but they didn't take many of them out. You have the old image versus list selector there. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's my old throaty. That's the best wah pedal that I've ever played, is this throaty wah on the Helix. I love it. So you obviously want to have that on an expression pedal. It automatically puts it on expression pedal 1, but if you want to move it, you can. Expression pedal 2. Control port would be your external ones. This little XY control is a neat thing too. It's on the touch screen of the Helix, and you can So I can't think of what I'm trying to say here, but you just move it, and it as you move your finger on the touchscreen, it moves the effect however you want it. So the expression, I screwed that up. All right. So you need the position to be there. If you want to have a bypass, you would right click up here, assign to switch, and there's your toe switch. So your wah is going to be controlled. So you're going to be, all of your other effects are going to be controlled by expression pedal 2, basically. And your wah is going to be on 1. So they greatly improved the toe switch too on this one. I have a very thin carpet in here, and so I would have some trouble hitting mine sometimes. It would halfway come on, and then as soon as I let up on it, it would go off. But so there's that. Let's see where we want to go next. We do need some reverb here. So if you want to come down here, it's the same. You click over there and go to path 2A. This thing will, for all of you one-man band guys out there that use the floor, they have greatly changed that too. You can go 4 different inputs, and I have not done that yet. But if you drag a split down, anyway, you can add four levels to this, and you could have each of them a different input and each of them a different output, and control the volume of all of them individually, which would be you may have to do that on the Helix itself. I've not found that yet. But yeah, it's really cool. That's probably what I should do here, is run this mic through the Helix, and that way I can put both of those in the computer. But I promised a video yesterday, and I haven't done one yet, so I'm doing the quickest thing that I can. So let's throw a little reverb in here. Go to some hot springs there. Let's see. Let's get it down a little bit here. I don't like a ton. So we didn't assign. I usually don't put the reverb on a foot switch. I leave mine on all the time, but of course you can. Right click it, assign to switch, add it somewhere if you want. But we do need this distortion pedal somewhere. I thought we already did this, but I guess. Oh, we did. Actually, it automatically put hot springs in there too. So I was on Stompbox B. You can go in your global settings and decide what you want, just like the old one where you could have preset or snapshot or Stompbox mode. This one, you have 2 screens that you can toggle between, and I set mine on Stomp A and Stomp B, and if you hold it down, I apologize for this. This is going to get a little shaky, but I'm going to show you guys a couple of things before we end this video here. I don't want it to get too long. All right. And to make sure y'all are seeing what I want you to see, we're going to go here. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. All right. So, here's your floor. Sorry, your stadium. So, let's go. hold my phone right here, or I would show you on the guitar. Um, so on here, everything is way simpler on here once you figure out how to do it. So you would double click if you wanted this on a foot switch. Double click, you get the same assign to switch menu, and all you would do, well, it went away. Assign to switch. Why is it doing that? It's not liking me right now. What is going on here? Okay. Assign to switch. There we go. And that's it. I think you could do that on the floor too. I never did it that way, but that's the main way to do it on the stadium itself. Let's go here to the amp. So there's that button. I need to figure out what that's called, but so here's your. So if you watch all of the parameters down there, as you move up, it's moving all those parameters. And they have taken the time to set 5 different parameters for you. And as you move closer to one, it changes everything. So it's endless. You literally just drag it around. You know, you could set a loop before that and just drag it around till you're satisfied with it. Then to get back out of there, you just tap that again. It's really cool, really, really cool. Here is your matrix, your output matrix. But if you're going XLR out like I am, if that's lit up, you just turn this knob and there's your volume up and down. There's your headphone volume. It's all on one button now. There's your 1/4 inch out. So you can control each of those separately. And then, if you do have all these different outputs, here's your basically a mixing board. So you could do a one-man show and just take the Helix with you and run it out into a powered speaker. And I mean, it's awesome. There's a place where you can put songs. It has a click track. Here's what I was talking about. If you push and hold, so I have mine set to stomp A and stomp B. If you push and hold, then you have this screen here. You have your preset. That'll show you all your presets, all your snapshots. You can set up a combo however you want it, where you have snapshots on top, presets on the bottom, stomp boxes, however you want it to be. It's really, really cool. They have metronome, a timer, I'm going to show you something else that's cool too, if I can figure out how to get to it. Let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to the synth. I'm starting to cramp up being bent over here. Dual pitch. Let's see. Where was I even going here? Oh, yeah. So, now, if you want to know what interval 1 does, you just tap on it. Sets the pitch of the first shifted voice in semitone. So now there's no guessing what everything does. Click on that. It tells you what everything does in here. It's so cool. So cool. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for bearing with me on my first attempt at this. I know it wasn't the smoothest video you've ever seen. I will get better. I'll keep doing them. I'm going to figure out how to put this into the computer so you can actually hear what I'm saying, or what I'm playing. And I'll do a video in a few days of my preset, because I literally have it chocked full. I think I've got one button that's not got something on it. But thanks for watching. Leave a comment with any suggestions. You know, you can hate on me if you want. I've got some thick skin. So anything you want to see on here, let me know. Thanks, guys.